Well, hey, everybody. This is Dr. Crystal Richardson. I do know who I am. I'm very extremely happy to be with you today here on The World Speaks on LIG TV. LIG stands for Life Innovation Global TV, where we will have guests from around the world come and speak to you about how you can have more confidence, more engagement, more enrollment in what it is that you're doing to have a great impact in this world. And they will do that based on talking about their lives, their successes, different things that came up that maybe would have been considered a tragedy, but then was turned into a triumph. And the motto here is SPC, where we have short, powerful content. Short, powerful content. It's not where it takes 30 minutes, even, 45 minutes, an hour to have where you make an impact in someone's life. So one of the things that we will be doing that you will be able to participate in as well are called Topic Cast. Topic Cast. It's like a podcast, but per topic. And what we will be doing is having some on leadership, entrepreneurship, lessons learned, some related to faith, as well as your health and your business and your outlook on your vision, of which I want to say to you that this particular show today is going to be focused on vision. So if you are taking notes, please do write that down. Some of our previous shows are going to have where there's some things that I'm going to bring up again related to the word impact, related to our intentions, and also related to innovation. Those are things that I'm always going to talk about on this show. It's Life Innovation Global TV. And so innovation is at the center of everything that we do. But today's word is vision. So no matter when you're listening to this, I really want you to hone in on several things that we did just this past weekend related to outlining a clear and concise and actionable vision for your life. So one of the things that it takes is being able to have where you have good communication skills. And so having those skills is very important. Not just important, it's crucial for you to be able to articulate your message. And there's various ways that people talk about doing that with elevator pitches and just having a 1 or 2 minute type of talk that you could do related to your business. And this isn't just related to business. It could just be your life goals. You're a mom. You are a stay-at-home mom, and you have something that you want to do to earn some additional income. And so sometimes you do have to enroll other people in that, right? Or it could be that you just want to go out and buy a car. So what would be the way that you could really articulate the various things that you want in that car? Or what your terms and conditions are related to how much you're willing to pay? Or you have a presentation at work and you want to be able to really get your points across. So there's various ways that you can do that. And one of the books, I'm always going to have a book here. We're going to be going over, I have a number of books right here on my table that we're going to be featuring today based on our word vision. But what we're going to talk about right now, just for a few moments, is the 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. And I want you to just take a look at this. Hey, everyone. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson, and you are here on The World Speaks. We are going to have a number of people that will be pouring into your life related to how you can not just have a better life, but have more impact in the world and more monetization. And some of it is based on what they've gone out and done. And so, I've been there, been there, done that kind of mentality. And part of that is with my multimillionaire billionaire network. There's a few people that have already come to film their shows here, and different conversations I've had with people that are in that alliance on Voice America. You can find those shows there. And so we will be taking tips and tools and techniques from some of those shows, as well as more recent conversations I've had with them right here in Arizona at LIG TV. So I can't wait to share some of those with you. And some of those, again, related to SPC, short, powerful content, is where they've come here and we've done like a 7 or 8 part series so that we can just give you bite-sized chunks related to the lessons that they have learned in their business. So what I want to talk about right now are various topics related to the 51 powerful P's of public speaking, and how you too can have a better life in relation to how you articulate what it is that you want to get across to your audience. Your audience could be an audience of one, because you could be in an interview and there's maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 P's in here that could relate to how you could have a better interview process, right? Or you could be giving a presentation at work, or you're at your church and you have to maybe lead a small group. This book right here relates to all of those. And some of the testimonials that we've gotten from people and how they use it as a guidebook has been phenomenal. I really appreciate that. And we need more reviews on Amazon, because people come and tell me that they've recommended the book to someone and they got the book and whatnot. But we need to translate those also into reviews on Amazon. But let's just go over a few of these. And let's take the scenario of what I mentioned as far as the small group. So you are in some kind of club and they have a small group. Or like I said, you could be leading a small group at your church. So with the 51 powerful P's, what would be a couple that would be of benefit to you? So part of it is number 18, which would be power. Being able to just really have a powerful message. And part of that comes with being able to tell your story. Being a storyteller is huge, and having where you can relate your circumstances to a particular topic so that they can relate, and even in a small group. So one of the things that happened to me was I was in Africa and I was supposed to play the piano for this church. And I was just really, really nervous. This was like years and years ago. I think it was like maybe over 30 years ago now. And I had practiced at home before we left to go to the country, and also I think even there, in a small group. But when I got in front of everyone, I just got so nervous, and so my voice was just shaking. I'm playing the piano, my voice is shaking, everyone is just laughing. And then all of a sudden I just said, you know what, I just have to keep singing through my tears and through my shaky voice. And people started joining in on the song. It was a common song. They started joining in on the song. And by the end of that song, everyone was on their feet. Everyone was singing with me. They were laughing and singing. And it was a standing ovation because I just kept singing. And so part of this is related to power, but also perseverance, right? And having where we are really wedded to, really committed to what it is that we want to do, so much so that we're going to continue to do it no matter what. But we have to pick what that is. Sometimes it is an opportunity and it is something where we just need to abort. We need to just, you know what, let's just go ahead and quit. But some things you need to pick and choose, those things that you're going to continue to pursue and continue to move forward with. And no matter how confident or unconfident, non-confident you feel that you are, still, that perseverance is key. Now, like I said, some things it is where we just need to abort, right? But when we're talking about vision, we have not lost that, that is the main word that we're looking at right now. When we look at the word vision, look at the word pick, which is in here, it's number 40. We have to pick and choose those things that we're going to continue on with and persevere and push forward. So as far as your vision for your life, your vision for your business, it is important that we focus. So pick is a part of focus, and there's a lesson in here and some things. I'm not going to actually read from the book because I want you to buy the book and go through some of these lessons yourself. But the other portion in here is peace. That no matter what happens when you give a talk of any type, is that you have to have peace about what it is that you're doing and saying, so that people are not feeling your nervous energy and they pick up on that as opposed to picking up on the message. So I really want to encourage you to get this book. There's some really great stories in here and really good things that you can reflect on. There's a reflection section. It's a book and it's also a workbook. It has various things in here that you can do and write in here, and various action plans, notes. And one of the things I say is MUYOM, which is make up your own mind. So on some things, we just need to make up our own mind, what it is that we're going to do and how we're going to move forward in our life, because there's going to be a lot of people that have a lot of advice. Some of it is based on opinion. Some of it is actually based on wisdom. So as we get back to that word of vision, it's important that we understand that yes, we can take advice from people, but we have to make up our own mind how that advice applies to us, how the advice of someone else applies to us in our life. So the word that I mentioned that we are going to be talking about today is vision. And as we look at our vision, I have some really cool, really big bucks here. As we look at the word vision, it could be that your vision is that you want to make like a lot of money, that you want to have that you have a vision that you're a multimillionaire, that you're a billionaire. That came up this weekend too, that they want to be the next billionaire. But why? What is your vision related to the impact that you want to have in this world? So it is important to state and to claim what it is that you want to do, but to have a why behind it. So that's one of the words I want you to write down in relation to vision, is the word why. Why is it that you want to have the money? Let's say that it is in relation to being a billionaire. Why is it that you want to have that money? Why is it that you want to have where you have that status? Because with that status comes more attention, which means there's also more issues and problems you could potentially have, depending on what it is that people know about you. People come out of the woodwork sometimes and ask for loans and favors or try to swindle you out of that. So before we even get to that, it's important for us to have a firm foundation in what it is that we're doing for that word vision, and having where we have a structured plan and approach. One of the things that I truly believe, and this is one of the ones that we have right here, where we're going into the new year, is that you already should have a plan, but have a plan where you really outline at the end of the year even more. As you're leading up to the end of the year, the second, third quarter, you should already be thinking about the next year. Not when January 1st comes, you're like, okay, what am I going to do? So having a planner where you can then go even into more detail, October, November, December, on what it is that you're going to do each and every day to launch your next year with fire, passion, and purpose. And so one of the things that I do recommend is that it's okay to have, a lot of people are electronic, they have everything electronic. But when you're able to write and scratch out and like have things, point to things. And I know you can do that on an electronic pad too. I'm just old school. I like to have like pencil and paper, actually pen and paper, a blue pen. Have where you really just focus in on what it is that you're thinking yourself. Now you can have where you're guided in that. And that's one of the things that we do. We have various types of vision events, and you can contact me at crystalrichardson.com or at lifeinnovationglobal.com. You can go to the contact me and let me know that you want to have information of when the next ones are coming up. We just had one, and I'm going to be scheduling several more for the initial sessions. And then the secondary session is one where we already have the date for that as well. And it is where I'll have, if I can, one or two initial sessions so that we can have more people involved in the second session to really move forward into the new year. No matter when you're listening to this and watching this, moving forward into the new year with a plan, with a purpose, knowing what your tactical plan is, your strategic plan, your marketing plan, your communication plan, because all of this is where you want people to have, where they're positively affected by what you're saying. And those people might just even be your children. You're doing this to have a better plan and vision for your family, for how you're going to run your home during the next year. That's great too, right? Like what worked well for us, boys and girls, mom and pop, like what worked well for us in our family this past year? What did not work so well? And then come up with a plan for your family. So many people, and there's various studies and stats, and statistics on this, that they do all of this planning and whatnot for their businesses and for their finances, but not for their family, related to their household. So my husband and I are going on a trip here in another few days, and so we'll be back, relatively quickly. It's only a couple days. But when we do that, we'll have one-on-one time, on the airplane, and we'll have a little bit of time, while we're there too. And then time on the airplane when we get back, just, couple day trip. We'll have time to really maybe talk about, of which we do plan on having a calendar meeting on the plane. If he doesn't fall asleep, a lot of times he's just like knocked out before the plane even takes off. But we'll have time to be able to have one-on-one time with one another to go through some of these calendar entries and talk about what's going to be happening for the next 1 month, 2, 3, 6 months and into the next year, so that I can have those family dates on my calendar before I start committing to everyone else, related to different things that I would like to do. And then I'm going to be doing in my business and in the ministry if God says the same. So planning is key. Vision is key. So I want to have where we look at a couple main key components of the word vision. And we did some of this in our initial meeting the last couple of days, but I want to just kind of go back over a few and add a few more. So one thing is, what is the one major thing that you want to accomplish in this upcoming year? The one main thing that you want to accomplish. And then when you think about that, I want you to go ahead and write that down. But I want you to also think about, what are some things that you know are going to be challenges in your life that are going to deter you from reaching that one main thing that you want to accomplish in the year? So for the challenges, maybe you can write down maybe 2 or 3 different challenges. So I want you to write down the word challenge. And I want you to think about a few things that are going to be challenges. It's really going to be hard for you to reach this goal because of these challenges. And some of it may be that it's just simply the word distraction. Some of it might be that it's just considered time management. Some of it may be there's things that challenge you, which is other people's opinion. But I want you to write down some things related. You can write down those too. Time, distractions, and then other people's opinion. You can write those down as well. But in your life, when you heard me say, what's going to challenge you? What's going to be a challenge? So that you may not be able to accomplish the thing that you want to accomplish. And then we're going to put in some tools and techniques on how you combat those so that they no longer become challenges, but they become stepping stones for you to be able to use those to push you forward, and then use that as part of your story on how you got to that main goal. Now, a lot of you already know, if it's a new year or if it's a new season for you, that statistics say that 92% of people who come up with New Year's resolutions or come up with goals just in general do not reach those goals. So why is it just 8% are the ones that reach their goals? Why is that? Well, we're going to explore that some more. And part of that has to do with being able to use your words in a way that all of your communication comes out the best as possible so that you can reach further, reach more people, and go deeper into really having the impact you were meant to have in the world, because you're able to use your words properly based on the situation. So part of this is a term, situational communication. Even when you're leading a company, there's tools and techniques around situational leadership. So those are two things that I want you to write down, and we will be right back after this commercial related to speaking. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching today. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson, and we are here on The World Speaks on Life Innovation Global TV. And that is LIGTV, the home of short, powerful content. So as you can see, we have a different book right here. And this is the one that we're going to be looking at right now, related to the word vision and the impact that we want to have in the world. I mentioned to you that that was going to be our main focus today, was going to be the word vision, but we always go back to our intention and innovation and impact. So this book right here is by one of my dear friends, and he is Steve Miller. Really, really amazing man of God. And the name of this book is Dynamite Comes in Small Packages. And he is the world record holder in 5 feats of strength. Really, really cool dude. World record holder. So part of what I want to read to you. So on the front here, it says, never underestimate the power within you. And in the very first chapter, it says, you are more than you know. And I want to read this to you in relation to what we're talking about related to the word vision, and how you have to be so sold out on what it is that you want to have as that one main goal. Remember, I said just pick one main goal, and we're going to also look at like what kind of challenges and different things are going to potentially deter you, and put some actions toward diminishing those so that you can use those as stepping stones to move towards your vision. that was part of what I mentioned earlier. I'm going to continue to mention that we have to know and understand what are the challenges for us, because your challenges may not be the same as mine. Guaranteed. There may be some similarities, some overlap. And we saw that when we were here as a group. All the people that were here at the Uplift Center, I had them stand up and get in one cluster. And then, okay, all of you all who, really want to go forward in this area, or learn more about leadership, stand over here. Or if your main thing is you're having issues with confidence, stand over here. Or if so we had where we just kind of broke up the room to see, who we were like, and who are our innovators, who really has something that they know that they want to actually create. So there was a small group of innovators, real excited about them, excited about everyone, but real excited about those who already know that they have something to create. And then my job is to help other people to know that they have creations and innovations inside of them as well, and God-given talents and gifts. So what he's saying here in this book, Dynamite Comes in Small Packages, Never Underestimate the Power of You. The first chapter is You Are More Than You Know. And I'm just going to read a little excerpt from this, okay? In every life, there are defining events, oftentimes more than one of them. They are when power and potential collide. Wow. Power and potential collide in rare but precious moments. They may last a split second, an hour, or perhaps longer. How you recognize and respond to these moments will change your life. Now, 2 words that he said that I talk about, and I talk about response and reaction, and he said recognition and response. So do you see here? And I think I'm going to read this again so that you can hear what he's saying about something that can actually change your life. It's based on what you recognize. So my thing is what you recognize, and then what is your response and your reaction. And he cuts it, just to the one on how you respond. But responding and reacting are different, and we're going to get into that maybe in this show or in another show. And there's a number of talks that I've done related to that, and my husband as well. I stole it from him initially, and I've just run with it and used it a lot in my various talks. But this chapter is called You Are More Than You Know. You are more than you know. In every life, there are defining events, oftentimes more than one of them. They are when power and potential collide in rare and precious moments. They may last a split second, an hour, or perhaps longer. How you recognize and respond to these moments will change your life forever. They are moments that you can point to for the rest of your life and say, that was the moment everything changed. That's actually basically kind of a title of one of I have a number of books I'm working on. That was the moment that everything changed. So for me, I'm going to have to get in contact with him and get him on the show so that we can go back through his book and have you hear from him personally. For me, it was my moment that I said no more. 2 words. And there is a special on Amazon, an Amazon Prime special on Speak Up, where I give that talk. It's like a TED Talk. My 2 words were no more, related to bullying. And people are like, you, Crystal, you've done so much in your life. You've had so much success. You've gone to all these different countries. You've started all these businesses, blah, 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 blah. You? Yes, me. There's a certain personality type that I allowed, and that's the key word, allowed, to have a certain power over me that they did not deserve, or I guess deserve is the best word for that. So I had to come to a point, and it wasn't until age 50, I'm 60 now, I had to come to a point in my life where I was able to stand up for myself to that particular personality type and not continue to put aside what God had given me to do what it is that they wanted to do, and to help them, but to let them know that I had to establish some boundaries. And so those boundaries started with, in my mind, making up my mind, no more, and then communicating my no more. And then identifying that personality type, which is why I'm so into all of the different types of personality tests and assessments and teaching that to my clients. I had to understand that, to know if that reared its head again, I would be better equipped to already say whatever it is I needed to say so that I didn't have to get to the point of it building up and I feel like I'm choking and dying and then have to say no more. So when we talk about your vision for your life, there's various tools and techniques and communication styles that can help you, including what I talk about in my book, The 51 Powerful P's of Public Speaking. There's various tools and techniques that can help you navigate how to communicate based on certain situations. A lot of what my husband and I do from time to time is somebody will have someone that they need to break some news to, or they need to ask some questions to. I do it from a due diligence perspective as well. If you want to do an investment or have someone invest in your company, excuse me, I help you understand, based on looking at whatever information they give you, how to move forward with the right questions so that you can get the answers that you need to understand whether you should invest or not. And the same with communicating with you about your company, understanding what questions they might ask, and then how you should potentially respond. So all of these things are different things that we do. And even sometimes it could be a court case, like how you should respond to, excuse me, to the judge or to whoever it is that's working on your case to get you ready for your case. If you are in litigation or potentially will be in litigation, like how to have communication for all of those. And that might need to be a book that we have too. The different scenarios, and people have some books like that. Like, if they ask this, then how should I respond? Or if they want to know this information, how should I articulate that to them? And so because the circumstances and situations are all so unique, having where, people come to me and ask me, what questions should I ask for due diligence for this particular investment and different things like that. Or I have where I need to have they're over people, and then they need to have a communication with someone who they may need to put on a performance improvement plan, a write-up, or they may need to let go. So, Crystal, what should I communicate? Based on this being the various scenarios, how should I communicate that to them? And so those are some of the things that we help people with. And so as we look at the word vision, and as we look at, what I'm talking about how communication is so key, and then what Steve mentioned about, you are more than you know. Part of this is recognizing that you have challenges, how to diminish and mitigate those challenges so that they're stepping stones for you to get to where you want to go. That's part of it. The other part is being able to recognize when something is added to your power bucket or something is added to your challenge bucket. And the same with people. Some people will be, there's another book here related to teamwork that we're going to go into in the next segment. Some people, you can see them and already know that you want them to be a part of your team. Other people, you can see them and you already know you want them to be a mentor or a coach for you. Other people, you can see that that might not be the best use of my time and it's just going to be a drain, but I am going to do what I can to help them and to have where I put them in a certain compartment of my life to have where I'm still giving back and having impact. And then there's other people that you know that they're just in it for what they can get out of you. And you have to decide what to do with them. But with all of these different people, based on the vision, going back to the word vision, of what you want to accomplish in your life, it's important to understand what kind of personality types you're dealing with, how that personality type meshes with yours, how to communicate with them, and then how to understand, just because you were like really fired up when you first met them and you want to put them in that power bucket, you want to put them in that mentor or coach bucket, but do they really, really go there? So being able to assess that as we move into this new season of vision is very, very, very key. And as a Christian, having that on your list of what you need to pray and fast for. And writing it all out, God, this is who is in my life. This is who wants to do this, or this is who I want to hire to do this or that. Okay, I'm giving it all to you. What are you saying about this? And should I move forward or not? Or which parts should I not move forward? Like having where you get a clear understanding of that. So that's part of what the Vision Collective is about, is writing all of this, doing all of this, but then having a time that we fast and pray and give it to God and see what adjustments need to be made. And then we move forward into our next year, gung-ho, related to those plans, and doing those plans if God says the same and if God wills. And for everyone else, you do it the way that you do it, but this is the way that we're doing it based on kingdom business building. So I really want to thank you for listening to this particular portion of our show today. We're going to go now into teamwork, and this is a part of vision still, because in order to have your vision fulfilled, it's not just a one-person show. It's not just a one-person initiative. It's better, and you can go further if you have a team, and where you're helping them and they're helping you. So thank you for listening. We are going into the next part of our show related to teamwork. Hey, everyone. Greetings and welcome back to Life Innovation Global TV. This is The World Speaks, and LIG TV is the home of short, powerful content. We are on the word vision today. Vision. We're on the word vision. And the short, powerful content that I want to talk about right now is the word teamwork. And we're going to utilize this book. Yeah, I love this little spot right here because I can just set up the book, you can see it, and then I'll grab it and have a talk. But one of the things that it talks about is myths. And remember, when we started this show is about vision and moving into the next year or the next phase of your life. And so this particular part related to teamwork, there's several myths. And he starts out this book. This is John Maxwell. He starts out this book with a myth. And that myth is stated in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the law of significance. And this right here, it has on the front the 17 indisputable laws of teamwork. Embrace them and empower your team. So this particular one is the law of significance. So I'm just going to go back here to the front. 1 is too small a number to achieve greatness. The myth is over here on page 3, the belief that one person can do something great is a myth. The belief that one person can do something great is a myth. So we do have where, we think people are lone rangers. We think people, we talk about various CEOs of companies. We talk about, the list of billionaires that we know, people who have had great impact in the world. Lots of different names I could name, but I'm not going to do that today. And it's as if they did it all by themselves. And we know that that's not true, right? They had to have a team. They had to have other people around them. They had mentors and coaches too. They had people that spoke into their life, whether they admit it or not. They did have people that spoke into their life. They did have people that let them know, that's probably not the best idea, or, oh, that's a great idea. But with those kinds of people, a lot of times, everyone is like, oh, that's great, that's great, that's great, but is it really? So they do have to have where there's some, I don't really like the word balance, but there is some balance in that. And even if they don't admit that they have a team, even if they don't admit that they've taken someone else's advice, that everything that they've come up with was theirs. Okay. Um, Believe me, they have taken other people's advice. Sometimes some of those people have taken other people's ideas, but I digress. So what we're talking about here is the fact that in a team, it's important to know that you need one, and then you start building it. And it could be that you are in the phase of your life where you don't necessarily have a lot of money to hire all these people, right? But you can start out with volunteers. You can start out with an administrative assistant, with a virtual assistant. You can, and some of those, a lot of companies out there now that have where there's people that are relatively inexpensive that you can do that with. Now you have to do your due diligence. I am just so into due diligence because some companies, they have a great pitch. And so I want you to go to, let's see if I have a banner on that, reduceinvestmentrisk.com. Because whether it's me or someone else, we'll just put that here. I'll just type that here. Whether it's me or someone else, have where you have like a due diligence team, like someone you can confide in. And if you do need to have an NDA in place, go ahead and get one, a non-disclosure agreement, so that you can talk openly with them about certain things, and then have where they can help you make these decisions. And I can't stress enough like how important this is. Because then I hear stories about people that, oh, I really wanted to do this or do that, but I don't have the money for it because I gave this person this amount of money, this person that amount of money, or this organization or this business, or they said this and they said that, and then I did it and then I didn't get, that's going to continue on until you get some people that you can trust to help give you advice. And then depending on what it is, maybe you'll be able to pay for that, like someone that's your mentor or coach in that area, and that's part of what I do too. Or it's where you can set up an agreement that once your business takes off, then they would have where you would give them a certain amount of money back, or a certain amount of shares in the company, like whatever it is that you want to do from that regard. But find somebody that's level-headed and that has some background and knowledge. And mine is based on systems and tools and techniques where no matter what the investment is, no matter what the situation is, you can utilize these tools to come up with what would be good for you to ask them in that particular situation. So it's very important that we do this. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to bring that back up, but we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We do have some awards ceremonies coming up, in 2025 and beyond. So no matter when you're listening to this, you can go to lifeinnovationglobal.com and see when the next award ceremony is. But I'm very excited to be able to share with you the Life Innovation Global Awards, and maybe you could apply to receive one. Thank you and welcome back to Life Innovation Global TV, The World Speaks. My name is Dr. Crystal Richardson, your host and executive producer. We have a number of things that are coming up, including Emerge Media Experience 2025. I have that right there. You're going to be seeing and hearing more information on Life Innovation Global, so make sure you put that on your apps, on your browser, so that you can continue to come back as we go to the end of this year and to the beginning of the year to see how you can get engaged in that. The other thing that I was talking about before the show was in relation to investing. So you want to attract an investor, ask us how you can have a better internal due diligence to have the right information, including your own risk portfolio, risk pro forma, on how you can have information to give them where they can say, wow, you know, this person is really open, they really know their business, they know their numbers, and I would love to invest in them. And for you, investing your money, don't do that alone. Have me or have some other people on my team as your behind the scenes due diligence person, so that you can have where you know the right questions to ask, or some of the right questions. It doesn't guarantee that you're not going to have an issue, but what it does guarantee is that you will have more information. And information is power. And so you can know more and do more and do better with more information. And guess what? This still goes back to the word vision. Vision was the first word that we were talking about. And we were on the word teamwork and building a team and having a team. And so this particular book, we started a little bit on chapter 1 in relation to the law of significance and the fact that, you know, all of these people, and they list some people in this book, are ones that they did not do everything by themselves. It's not possible. They had to have a team. The second one is the law of the big picture. The goal is more important than the role. So when you have a team, it's important that every single person knows the goal. What are we moving toward? I have a young lady that I work with, and the person that introduced me to her, and you know, she did herself say, okay, just tell me what it is. And like, I work better when I have a clear goal. I work better when I know exactly what it is that we're doing, and then I can stand behind that and speak to it. I'm the same way as well. I need to be able to not just say, oh, well, she said, or he said, or say that I'm not really sure about the information. I love data, and I love researching. I love documentaries. My husband does too, knowing the behind the scenes. And so for me, it's important to be able to have that information so that we can move forward with more knowledge, because knowledge is power. So This is a really great book in relation to teens. I'm going to put it back here. There's a number of books that we're going to be using at our book retreat. So if you want to write a book, if you want to write your own book or be a part of an anthology where it's like a number of people get together, then it's important for us to have where we can do that in an environment where it's like an incubator and spend all day, morning, afternoon, evening, really pouring into ourselves and like leave there with some manuscripts done and ready for editing. And so if you want to be a part of our book writers retreat, this one is for women. I would love, love, love to have where you join us in Arizona for that, and it will be the end of January. We also have a keynote tour coming up and revival series. There's going to be where we do uh, a number of talks at various schools and universities in Kenya, and then also have where we have some amazing and powerful, 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 just anointed services with a number of churches there as well. So you can do one part or the other part, or you can do both. So we would love to have you let us know that you're interested in that Kenya tour, and we can have where we start getting you the information over this next month and solidify the dates, and then you can put down a deposit or the whole amount. So really excited about sharing that with you. But remember, we're talking about vision. And one of the things that we talked about earlier was the word challenges. So understanding what is your main big goal for the year or for the project or for this season. And then what are some of the things? There's a lot of other elements, but the one that we talked about today were challenges. What are some things that are going to be a challenge for you? What are some things that are going to be a challenge for you that could deter you from reaching that goal? Identifying those are key. Now, when I have the meetings, I say just identify one, two, or three challenges. But really, you need to write down as many as you need to so that you can then have where you put in action plans to diminish those. So you can use them as stepping stones to get to your main goal. And I've said that a few times as well. But I really want to have where you get that point that that's what this is about. And part of what you can do related to that is in relation to your speaking. We're at the end of our show today. I hope you got something that helped you in relation to the word vision. I hope you look us up on Life Innovation Global or on crystalrichardson.com so that you can join us at our next vision event and make your next year or your next season the best one yet. And we do that by helping you with public speaking. So I'm excited about this new year. I'm speechless. You all have a blessed day.